What's up, guys? It's Jonathan with Rev Free Moto. Welcome back to the channel. I have a confession to make to you all. I traded in my Harley. So I'm going to talk in this video a little bit about why I traded my Harley in. And if you know me, I've actually been riding Harley, back on Harley, for an entire year now. And I just need a break. So what are we going to be riding today? This is a 2024 Triumph T100 900cc parallel twin, liquid cooled, sounds amazing, 5-speed gearbox, which I actually test rode the T120, and which has 6 speeds and a larger engine, and I actually like this one better. But I just think it's beautiful. I want you to check out this tank. This is the Stealth Edition. So it's a T100 Stealth Edition, and this is a hand-painted tank, and if you look, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. It fades from blue to black, or black to blue, or however you want to say it. Hand-painted and beautiful. I just can't stop staring at it. Lots of customization options with the Triumph. Just like Harley, lots of aftermarket availability. She is bone stock right now. Bone stock. So let's get on, take a ride, and talk about why I need a break from Harley Davidson.
Alright, so thanks so much for joining me today. Again, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to Rev Free Moto, please consider subscribing. And this is not a Harley bashing video, so if you love Harley, stay tuned. I'll tell you why I traded my Harley. Alright, let's fire up this Triumph Bonneville T100. I feel like there's nothing like a Harley's exhaust sound once you get the right pipes, but for straight out of the factory, I feel like this Bonneville T100 sounds amazing from the factory. Definitely not a Harley sound, but I think it sounds great. Just outside of Charlottesville, Virginia today. And really loving this Triumph Bonneville T100. So a little bit of history on me if you're new to the channel, if you're just tuning in. I've been riding for 23 years. I have been a motorcycle officer for a couple of years. For just over 3 years I was a motor officer. I've ridden probably not every brand, but a lot of different brand motorcycles in the past 23 years, from BMW to Suzuki to Yamaha to Harley Davidson, Indian, Honda, sport bikes, adventure bikes, cruiser bikes, touring bikes. One thing I need to remember is this thing does not have turn signal cancelers. But yeah, I have ridden, I need to do a list. I've ridden so many bikes, and it's all about that kind of the quest to find the perfect bike, right? Which I don't know if I'll ever find the perfect bike. But for the past year, I've ridden Harley Davidson, and I was on an Indian Chief Vintage before that. The Chief Vintage is a bigger motorcycle. It's before the current version of the Chiefs. The Indian Chiefs now are kind of like the Harley Softails, a little bit smaller. Still not small bikes. This student driver in front of us. So I changed over to Harley Davidson after riding my Indian for about 5 years, and I did a video on that, why I switched over to Harley, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that there's really not, especially for the Indian that I had, there really wasn't a lot of customization options, and it was time for a change. I wanted to do something a little different, and you know, it had been a bit since I'd been on a Harley, and I wanted to get on a Harley again. So for about a year, I rode a Harley Davidson. I had a Fat Boy for a while, and then I switched over to a Lowrider ST. The Fat Boy didn't have, it looked good standing still, but when I was riding the bike, I was never comfortable. It handled very strange with that really wide rear tire. It was great to drive, to ride in a straight line, but that's not the kind of riding that I enjoy. Who wants to just go in a straight line other than this student driver in front of me? Man, this traffic today, I just don't understand it. It's Monday at 3:14 in the afternoon. So the Harley Fat Boy was traded for a Lowrider ST, and the Lowrider ST was, oh my gosh, I need to get away from this student driver. The Lowrider ST was really fast. Kind of weird seating position on that bike, and it is comfortable for like maybe 1 in 99 people out of the box. So you know, you got to do risers, pullback, all these, you know, seat, all these different things. Add pipes to get it to sound right. Tune it to get the engine to run right, because it comes lean out of the factory. You know, so it's like you buy this expensive motorcycle, and then you throw another $5,000 or more. I mean, that's not even including labor, right? If you can do it yourself, then you'll save some money. But you know, I got some heated grips put on, and between the grips and the labor, it cost me $1,000. $1,000 to add heated grips, because it's Harley Davidson and they can charge whatever they want. And so that's a little bit of you know, kind of getting ahead of myself, but I had so much more to do to the Harley Davidson, and it was going to be thousands more to get it to where I wanted it to be. And that bike was honestly so heavy. It was 720 pounds, and I know that's lighter than some Harley Davidsons, but that it really just wasn't my cup of tea as far as the way it handled, especially at lower speeds. I like to be able to, you know, be smooth, and I tried and tried, and I don't know what it was about that motorcycle, but I just couldn't get real smooth on it. But you know, it was fun. And then I got the Janus, which the Janus is, you know, I've done a few videos with that bike, and that's my second bike. And I don't know if a Janus Halcyon 450 would be a great bike or not if you are if it was your only bike, because it's 365 pounds, 450 445cc 450 motor, and it scoots and it's good, and I love it. But it's probably meant for rides that are 3 hours or less. I would say I could do all day on it, but I think it would be a little, it's got a lot of vibration, so it's fun to ride, but a long ride, maybe not the best. Just make sure you stop, right? So going from this 360-pound Janus to the 720-pound Harley, it was two huge extremes, and so that was one of the reasons that I figured it was time to get something a little bit more of a not so heavy. And another reason that I really wanted to get away from Harley for a little while is they're so political right now, and I don't think a motorcycle company should be political. I'm so tired of seeing Harley Davidson in the news with a different opinion on everything, and I really just need a break from that. Like, I don't want my motorcycle to be associated with a certain way that people think, or a certain way that people should think. I don't want my motorcycle company, the company that my motorcycle is made from, to try to influence me to be a certain way. And that's really what it comes down to. That's the reason that I got rid of my Harley Davidson, why I traded it in on this Triumph T100. Now, back last June, I rode a Triumph T120. I rented one through RiderShare and while I was on vacation, and I really enjoyed that motorcycle. It was one thing that I found was that I never used 6th gear on the T120, and when I did, I felt like I didn't need it, and so I wanted to test ride the T100 because this only has 5 gears and it has a little bit more of a usable power band. I think that being able to use your power band puts a lot more into the riding experience. I'm trying to keep the RPMs down. During the break-in period, it doesn't, for at least for the first couple hundred miles, it doesn't want you to go over 4,000 RPMs. But so I'm still having fun with it, but I just can't rev it up too much right now. So, really what it comes down to is that Harleys make great bikes. I had a lot of problems with my Lowrider ST. A lot of problems. The battery would never stay charged, and it had a brand new battery in it. The day I bought it, they put a brand new battery in it because they couldn't keep it charged on the showroom floor. That should have been my first clue. And I just thought it had been sitting too long, the battery, whatever. But there's something else going on with it, because it was always, I would keep it on a trickle charger all the time, and no matter what, it would say low battery all the time. So that was one problem, is that the battery wouldn't stay charged. Or something, maybe the stator or something like that. I read that there were some problems with the charging system with those bikes. There were a few recalls on it. One for brake lines that were run too close under the gas tank on the Lowrider ST, and so the tanks were rusting, the brake lines were getting compressed, and gosh, like, really? Then there was another one with this a bolt on the suspension, or the rear shock, that could break. So a couple different different recalls, but the biggest thing was that my belt would always squeal on the bike, and that turned out to be, I don't know if I ever got that fixed. And it was under warranty, and Harley still, it was charging me to assess what was wrong with this motorcycle. You know, like, that's something I did not understand. It's like the bike's got, you know, like no miles on it, and it's got a problem, and they're still charging me money. You know, so there were so many different things. Once it's like this, Harley Davidson, the dealers are wonderful the day you want to buy a motorcycle. You come with a open checkbook, you come with your wallet hanging open, a big wad of cash in your pocket. That's not me, but they're your best friend, and they want to be, you know, they'll be your buddy, and they're the best place to visit in the world when you're buying a new bike or buying a bike from them. But when you're going in for service, you know, it's most of the dealerships that I have found with Harley Davidson could care less if you come to see them or not. And they are extremely expensive when it comes to labor. And like they have no shortage of business. So they don't need your business. And they don't care whether you come or you go, you know. They don't care. They don't need you. They don't value you. That's the way I felt as a Harley Davidson customer. I never felt valued. I never felt like I mattered. If I had a problem, that was my problem, you know. And they'd look at it if they could, but it's still my problem. And if they fixed it, well, then I was going to pay up, you know, even if the bike's under warranty. Like, especially that the rear wheel was out of alignment. That's what it turned out. I think that was the third time they looked at it. I had to go to 2 different dealers, but that was why the belt was squeaking. And I was like, well, how does that happen? They said the rear wheel was way out of alignment. And it's like, how does that happen on a brand new motorcycle? You know, why is it so out of alignment, and why am I having to pay for the fix, you know, when this is a under warranty bike? So, you know, that really rubbed me the wrong way. The way I was treated, you know, it was like that when I rode a Harley before, and it's like it, you know, when I got a Harley again, it was the same way. Too much personality, too much ego, too much, you know, we are the king of motorcycle companies and we don't need your business, and you're gonna think the way we want to think you to think. You're gonna dress the way we want you to dress. If your you know, gear doesn't say Harley Davidson all over it, then it's inferior. You know, that's just, and maybe this is just me ranting, but that's just the way I felt, and I do feel. And so I just, like, especially with the politics and the national attention that Harley Davidson is getting over their company's ideologies lately, with the, you know, just trying to tell people the way they should feel and think, and getting involved in politics is just not my thing. Like, stay out of it. You're a motorcycle company, build motorcycles, you know, and be passionate about that, and care about me as a customer, and I'll come back. But for now, I needed a break. I needed a big break. So, switching gears to the Triumph. I love it. It's out of the box, extremely comfortable, very powerful. I mean, its power to weight ratio is good. It's not the fastest thing ever, but it's 900 cc. I think it's 64 or 65 horsepower, and 80 is it 80 foot-pounds of torque, or is it 80 newton meters of torque? Either way, it's only a 500-pound motorcycle, so I say only, but it's 150 or 140 something pounds heavier than the Janus, but over 220 pounds lighter than the Harley Davidson Lowrider ST. And so certainly lighter, certainly a lot more nimble and agile. Just a very pleasant, smooth drivetrain, extremely smooth to shift, the lightest clutch, almost too light. I always thought the Harley was crazy, the clutch on that thing, like gonna give me, what do you call it with your hands? Carpal tunnel. I felt like I was gonna get carpal tunnel from the clutch on the Harley. And you may laugh and say, well, you're a weakling or something like that, but I mean, say what you want. The older you get, you know, it's nice to have a little bit lighter of a grip on the clutch. Fuel efficient. This thing gets about, man, it's like 60 miles to the gallon. It's amazing. I think my Harley on a good day got 43, maybe. So obviously it depends on how you ride it, but mostly this thing's getting 60. I've got, according to this, it's 142 miles left on this tank. It's a 3.2 gallon tank, I think, and there's 56 miles on the tank, so that's over 200 miles on the tank that it's projecting. That's pretty good. So we'll do I'll do another video with like a full review and walk around and why, you know, what I think of this motorcycle. Obviously I like it, but man, have you ever seen a tank like that? Like, it's just so beautiful. It is absolutely a work of art. I'll tell you one thing, I'm not going to blow it right now, but there's the horn on this thing is ridiculous. It needs to be replaced. So I'll maybe be looking into that. Bar end mirrors, maybe in the future. These are fine. I can see fine. I just like the bar end mirrors look. So not any big rush. But heated grips are pretty inexpensive for this motorcycle, and I think I can maybe do it myself, possibly. But that's probably all I'm going to do to it. I might down the line put some pipes on it, but really, like, I mean, you guys tell me what you think of the exhaust note. Of course, I'm not revving it all the way up. Hopefully you can hear that fairly well. I feel like it's just sounds great. And I know it's a different sound than a Harley, but I really like the way it sounds. A lot of heritage and history with the Triumph brand. These things there's so many aftermarket parts available for Triumph, especially the Bonnevilles, that's a big plus as well. Just like a Harley, there's a huge aftermarket for Triumph motorcycles, and I certainly appreciate that. The service intervals on this motorcycle after the first oil change, which is I think 600 miles, is every 10,000 miles, or, I mean, that's not like lubricating the chain, but every 10,000 miles is pretty amazing, or every 12 months. So obviously, like, if you ride a lot, it's worth it, you know. And it's super breezy out today, riding right into a headwind now. So yeah, I mean, that's it is what it is, guys. You know, love Harley or hate Harley. I'm not saying I love Harley or hate Harley. I certainly don't hate them. I don't hate any motorcycle brand. And I've definitely enjoyed my time for the past year with Harley Davidson. But until their company changes that's just it's going to be time for a break from them. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about all this mess. You know, you ride a Harley? Do you ride something else? Do you avoid Harley because of this national ridiculousness that Harley Davidson's been involved in for the past? I mean, it isn't just recently. It's all the time. It seems like they're, and maybe it's good for business. I don't know. Maybe that's part of their strategy. What do you think of the new motorcycle? What do you think of Triumph? Leave me a comment, let me know. Kind of a fun fact for today, I was out riding this morning, real quick. It was 56 degrees when I left the house. And I figured, I'll be okay, you know, with my mesh jacket. And I froze my butt off. I even put a hoodie underneath of it. I was so cold that my teeth were chattering. So now I've got my leather on from DNSA, or however you say it, and now I'm burning up. Now I'm frying. Now I'm too hot because it's like almost 80 degrees now. So 23 years of riding experience and I still don't know what the heck to wear. But that'll probably never change. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching today. I appreciate your time. And please give this video a like. That really helps me out. Consider subscribing. Remember, it's who you're becoming. That's what matters the most. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.